Hello, friend. Welcome to 10 Bestest, where we sift through the noise so you don't have to. I'm Brian Hart.
I'm Karen McFarland-Holman.
Today, I'm going to share the surprising story of sushi in America.
And I'm going to share a book for everyone. Let's get to it.
My next cool sheet is a podcast episode. This is called The Untold Story of Sushi in America. It's by The Daily Sunday Read. So I've talked about The Daily as a cool sheet before, where they do news Monday through Friday. But what they've started doing every Sunday, and I actually like this better because I'm getting a little tired of the news. The negativity, it was just too much for me. During COVID, I stopped it. But the Sunday Read I love because what they do is they highlight one of their articles in the New York Times and then they read it as a podcast. So I love this, and I've already talked about an article, so I just want to switch it up a little bit because the article is great too. Actually, the animation in the article is definitely, I'm going to put both links, is by the New York Times by Daniel Fromson. And he talks about, in the beginning, God did not create a sushi company. The sushi came later. So did the unraveling a controversial religion and lawsuit for the control of a mysterious asset. So in 1980, few Americans knew about sushi. But then there was Reverend Sun Myung Moon, the founder of Unification Church, speaking to dozens of followers in the Grand Ballroom of a New Yorker hotel. Now, although Moon was from Korea, which makes this even more interesting, most of his first followers from Japan. So Moon said, he thought he was the Messiah, and he basically started a cult, and he told them that you are the pioneers of the fishing business and the seafood business. Go forward, pioneer the way, and bring back prosperity. And he was totally serious. He was starting a religion, but doing it through food because he also was an avid fisherman. And they did. And today, here's the craziest part. Today, it is the business and grew and shaped America's seafood industry, especially sushi. They still to this day is the biggest True World Foods, which they started, supplies like 80%, some mind-boggling number of seafood for every sushi restaurant, or 80% of seafood restaurants in America. This crazy article, will tell you all about it, but I've run out of time. Definitely check out The Untold Story of Sushi in America.
I have never heard of anything like this. Like a cult based on food and then a company? Like all this is like, wait, what? And then what?
Yeah, like it's like one of those truth is stranger than fiction. You would never believe this if they just made a movie about a person that started a cult religion, but then turn it into a company that is responsible for not just bringing sushi to America, but 80%. So all of the mid and lower tier sushi place restaurants, so only the top tier are the only ones that get seafood from their own place, and that's why they charge so much. Everybody else gets their seafood from this place.
Wow.
It's wild to me. And then that was kind of a byproduct of how he wanted to spread his religion. They were like, well, we'll just give them fish and food and feed them while we convert them. And it just turned into this empire instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mind-blowing.
That's fascinating.
So crazy. Also some super fun facts. Sushi was not originated in Japan. It was actually originated in China. I didn't know that.
Oh.
That also kind of makes sense because China is, one of the oldest, continents or countries in the world, and they've originated a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't know, but I did because I worked in produce. Cilantro is not from, Mexico or Spanish food or any kind of Mexican food. It originated in China. It's called, another word for it is Chinese parsley.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and I think of Thailand, like Thai food having cilantro.
Yeah.
But
they originated in China. Yeah, because it's one of the oldest countries in the world. So it does make more sense. It's also called coriander, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so China invented sushi. Now it was different. It was a little bit different. It was mostly fermented fish, and it was it was because preserving things and stuff like that. Yeah. Also, Japan converted paper mills after World War II to create the seaweed sheets that we know. So that's super fascinating. There's so many things to take away from this article. But the main story of this cult that turned the sushi industry is my favorite by far.
Wow.
It's so wacky and amazing. And like I said,
wacky's a good word.
Yeah, for sure. And the website's amazing because it's got these really cool graphics and how it animates in, but also the podcast is delightful because you can just listen to it while you're doing something else.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have links to both of those.
I will definitely listen to that.
It's so great.
Yes. I love learning about stuff like this. Just these.
Yeah, it's something you would never know, and like that's the untold story of sushi in America.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so wild.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
My cool sheet is a book, and the name of this book is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and it was written by Charlie Mackesy. This book, from its cover, it looks like a kid's book, but if you do pick it up, like I was compelled to do at a friend's house recently, you'll find that it is much, much more than that. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. It was #1 on the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today bestseller lists. There are a few things that make this book stand out to me. First off, the entire thing is handwritten. That is so rare. And not only is it handwritten, but it's in this swirly, whimsical kind of writing, somewhere between cursive and regular script. Also, there are 100 illustrations in this book, and they are a combination of two styles. Some are in this simplistic, but also that swirly style black ink. Some are the black ink drawings filled in with watercolor, and some are full color with this very soft, beautiful style. So aesthetically, it is gorgeous. But then there's the story itself. It's very meandering with sweet life lessons throughout as each of these characters make their entrance. And overall, I would call this a book of universal truths. So here's an example, a few of my favorite pages, some quotes, and one is early on. The mole asks the boy, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And the boy says, "Kind." Instead of giving that usual, "I want to be a fireman or doctor or anything else." Here's another one. Later in the book, another question is posed. "Do you think your glass is half empty or half full?" And the boy responds, "I'm grateful to have a glass." Love it. So much more golden nuggets in there. This book is beautifully written and can be enjoyed by anyone at any age, and it shares lessons of vulnerability, kindness, hope, friendship, and love. And I would say reading without the illustrations, it's solid. Looking at the illustrations without the words is solid. Together, they are golden. This book is called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse.
Oh my, this sounds lovely.
It is.
Oh my gosh. So if you haven't got a gift either, this sounds like a great gift guide bonus cool sheet as well. Because like you said, it's not just for children. This could be for anybody.
For sure.
And it'd be a really sweet personal gift to someone that maybe they haven't heard of. Like I've never heard of this book. So this is great. So cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I wish this book had been around when my kids were young, but it just came out a couple years ago in 2019. Okay. So it's pretty new. And the person who had this book, it was gifted to her. I'm guessing she's around 50 years old or so, and it was gifted to her by her mother-in-law.
Oh, cool.
And so this is totally an adult thing too.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
I love that you could every once in a while you find like a timeless special book that's, geared towards kids or whatever, which is amazing, but is exponentially great. What's the name of that one? The Little Prince?
Little Prince, that's another one.
And that one, my friend Sayram told me about that. It was another thing. I haven't heard of it. And then it just was everywhere. It was one of those frequency illusion things. But I bought it, I read it, it became a movie that I think was underrated and didn't do very well. But the book is amazing. It's another one of those seems like a simple, child's little fable, but it's not. It's so much more. It's way deep. You can read it for your entire lifetime and always get something new from it, which sounds like you can do with this.
Yes,
so cool.
for sure.
I'm buying it as soon as we're done with the show.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for sharing
You're welcome.
Because I just know I'm going to love it. And
you will.
I love the look and everything about it. It just sounds so cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad my description of the illustrations compelled you.
Absolutely.
I
think that's what really sold it. I mean, there's the message sounds cool, but having it be so beautiful and I love those kind of things because it's a very interesting, me being a single guy with no kids, having a kid's book on my table, instantly kind of makes this conversation, and then that will hopefully spark someone else to learn about it that never would know about it. So I love it for so many reasons. Thank you so much for sharing that. If you want to check that out, definitely go to our website, 10bestest.com/rocks, and that will get you to a link that you can find it for yourself as well if you want it. Thank you so much for joining us, friend. I'm Brian Hart.
I'm Karen McFarlane Holman.
And let us know in the comments, do you like sushi?
And let us know your answer to Mole's question. Is your glass half empty or half full?
If you're enjoying the show, please smash the like button and share with a friend.
Stay tuned tomorrow for another great show.
And don't forget to stay curious.